Arsenal just reminded everyone why they are title favorites. But before we proceed, welcome to the class of analysis. We have all the time in this world. This is not the time to shout, to disturb, to banter. But this is the time to look into the game, to look into the hidden things in the match that we are not seeing. First of all, let me start with the first goal. The first goal came from the right wing, actually. The second goal also came from the right wing. The third goal also came from the right wing. It was only the fourth goal that came through the middle. I know when the lineup came up, Saka was supposed to start, but I think 5 minutes to the match, they removed Saka and Madueke came in. A lot of Arsenal fans would have been shouting and talking, Madueke this, Madueke that. He has not really proven himself, but he's trying to understand the system. This is his first season, you see. And most of us, we online coaches, me, including me, I'm not excluding myself, we think we know the job more better than Arteta. But it's not really easy being a coach. Yes, he has all the firepowers. He has the first 11. He has the second 11. But football isn't really played that way. Even if you have the first 11, the second 11, the third 11, the fourth 11, the fifth 11, and the 10th 11, and you don't know how to utilize these players, you will always have issues. Now, Arsenal won 4-0. We are all happy. Yeah, Arsenal won 4-0. If Arsenal lost, there'll be banter and everything, noise, stop everything all over the internet. But that's not what we're here to do. We're here to understand some factors why Arsenal won the game, why Arsenal could have lost the game, why Leeds United didn't even have, I'm not sure they had a shot on target, maybe one. I will check that to verify. They were not able to score. You see, for this season, the top six teams in the Premier League, they have played Leeds United at home. And in Leeds United, I think Manchester United did not get a win there. Chelsea did not get a win there. I'm not sure if Liverpool got a win there too. I don't know for Man City, but I think maybe they did get a win there too. But Arsenal got a win there with a clean sheet, 4-0. That's their biggest away win, if I may say. Yeah, that's their biggest away win. So the first goal came from the left wing. The second goal came from the left wing. The third goal came from the left wing. Look at the first goal properly. A cross from Madueke. Yeah, something with Madueke is that he's very good with creating spaces, with opening spaces. Yeah, but his problem is finishing. He has these issues with finishing. He cannot finish. That's just one problem with him, you see. But I think with the period of time he has been in Arsenal, they have been teaching him how to perfect his crosses. I remember the first corner kick he took for Arsenal was very poor. The second corner kick was very poor. But look at the corner kick he scored. We are coming to that. We're coming to that. I'm just taking that as an example. Look at the corner kick he scored. That was marvelous, fantabulous. You see, the first goal, 1-2, and he made a cross to the box 18, and the ball was able to find Zubimendi, and they came in 1-0. I was wondering, he's a defensive midfielder. What was he doing there? What was he doing there? What I observed the match was that when Arsenal attack, they changed in transition several times. I think Arteta can use more than 20 formations in a match just to win that match. They changed in transition several times. While Zubimendi was in the box 10, Declan Rice was at the edge of the box 18. So Declan Rice was playing not as an 8 currently at that moment, but he was playing as a defensive midfielder, as a cover, because he has the speed, the agility, the aggressiveness, the power. In case things go sideways. And something with Zubimendi I've observed is that he knows how to find his spot. You see, I think when I did my research, I observed Zubimendi just scored 2 or 3 goals at Real Sociedad. But that was his 5th Arsenal goal. I wasn't expecting it from him. Till tomorrow, I will still be a big supporter and a big fan of Partey. I was angry that Partey left Arsenal like this. I wasn't expecting it. I expected Partey to stay for at least maybe one more season. Even if Zubimendi was coming in, at least maybe he can still come and Partey would be there. I love Partey so much. But I'm not sure Partey has produced 5 goals or 6 goals in a season for Arsenal, before going to Villarreal. But I don't know how Zubimendi is doing it, but he always finds his way inside the box, inside the box 18. That was something I started observing, and I saw that Arteta knows how to transition and change his formation. Sometimes it will be Zubimendi, sometimes it will be Declan Rice. You see the midfield spot, they change it. So when the first goal was coming, I was not expecting Zubimendi. That was something I was not expecting. But one way or the other, Zubimendi was able to find himself and the ball, and he got the goal. A clean cross from Madueke, very clean. You might think the cross is just an ordinary cross, but it has been something he has been practicing. This is something he does not have when he was playing for Chelsea. Let's come to the second goal. Something about this Arsenal corner that you people don't observe. It is not the headers, the people that are trying to head the ball, they are not the one doing the trick. I have watched the corner over and over and over, and I found out that the trick is coming from the people crossing the corner. Declan Rice, Bukayo Saka, Noni Madueke, Trossard sometimes, and Eze. Odegaard barely crosses a corner because he is not really good with the tactics of crossing the corner. Now, the sheet code is from the persons, the Arsenal players crossing the corner kick, not the people trying to head the ball, not the defenders, Gabriel, Saliba, or Kai Havertz, or Merino, or Gyökeres trying to knock that ball. The sheet code is from the players trying to cross the corner kick. Now, if you observe this season, I think Saka has scored a direct corner kick. Declan Rice has scored a direct corner kick. And Madueke did the same thing. Now, this is what they are doing. They are crossing that ball for the defenders to get a head at it. They are actually targeting the goal. They want to score. They want to score from the corner spot. They want to score the goal directly. That is why you see what the Arsenal players are trying to do whenever they want to take a corner kick. They are trying to disorganize the opposition's goalkeeper so that he will not understand when that ball is coming to him. It's not that they really want to score. Yes, sometimes it might just flip into their head and they might want to score. But 80% of the time, the person taking that corner kick actually wants to score that corner kick. He actually wants to score that corner kick. So it's just like it's a direct cross to the keeper. Now, if the goalkeeper is not being disturbed, is not being disorganized, he might easily catch the ball. So most times, these Arsenal defenders, they go there to disorganize the goalkeeper. Maybe the ball can just luckily go in, or maybe they can be an header, or maybe they can be an own goal. That's why they have produced a lot of own goals this season. It's not really from the headers. I know a lot of people are complaining in the Premier League, other rival fans, Chelsea fans, Manchester United fans, Liverpool fans, even Man City fans, Set Piece FC, Corner FC. But there's something you guys are not seeing here. The three specialists in this corner kick in Arsenal, they all play for England. So don't be surprised if England start utilizing these tactics in the World Cup, because I'm sure we'll surely see it. And England have tall defenders on the like of Dan Burn. I think he should be 6'3" or 6. Hurricane, they are good with headers. Now, what Declan Rice and Saka will actually do, because I believe they are regular starters, they will also do the same thing they are doing for Arsenal, trying to cross the ball, not for England teammates to score, but for them to see if they can score it directly. If they cannot score it directly and the keeper cannot get a hold of the ball, there should be a little distraction there that can make it an own goal, or maybe an England player can just find his head on the ball and get a goal from it too. You see, so the corner kicks they are crossing, actually, they are not crossing for the player to knock the ball directly. They are targeting how to score from the spot kick directly. So when the second goal came in, they recorded it as an own goal. I think some hours later, almost 24 hours later, they accredited it to Madueke. The reason why they accredited it to Madueke because the shot was actually on target. An own goal, but the shot was actually on target. That was one of the main reasons they accredited it to Madueke. Now, when the match started, we online coaches we didn't want Odegaard to play. We complained that Odegaard always go back to the field, takes the ball from the defender. He's always dropping deep. He's always dropping deep. He's always dropping deep. He's not connecting with the attackers. He's not connecting with the strikers. Yeah, it's true. He's always dropping deep. The match, Ateta started it with Kai Havertz and Gyökeres. There's something Odegaard produces in the game that Kai Havertz cannot produce. There's something Kai Havertz produces in the game that Odegaard cannot produce. That's why I told you in the start of this video that even if you have first 11, second 11, third 11, and fourth 11, and you don't know how to utilize these players properly, that will also be a problem for you. You see it? Because yesterday, Arsenal played like a 4-4-2 formation, if you observe closely. Trossard was dropping deep. Madueke was dropping deep. Then Havertz and Gyökeres were high up the pitch. Havertz is aggressive. His physical is tough. Gyökeres is aggressive. His physical is tough. Now they are using their physicality and their aggressiveness to oppress Leeds United defenders. I'm coming to Leeds. They are using their physicality and aggressiveness to oppress Leeds United defenders. That is something Odegaard cannot bring to the game. Yes, that is something Odegaard. Yes, there are a lot of things Odegaard can bring to the game. Don't get me wrong. But that is something Odegaard cannot bring to the game. But Havertz can bring that to the game. And something people don't understand, something these Arsenal players don't understand about Gyökeres. Gyökeres is a traditional striker. It's like the kinds of Jamie Vardy, Drogba. They don't need you to walk the ball, tiki-taka, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, pass the ball. Give them the ball. Even in difficult situations, they will find their way. They know how to struggle with the ball. They don't have time for you to walk this ball and walk this ball and walk this ball and walk this ball. 1-2 slow game, stylish game. Those are not the kind of game that Gyökeres can play. Give him the ball. Find him. You observe the goal, the clear-cut chance he missed. That was very, very clear, but he could not score. Now look at the cross that Martinelli gave to him. I was not even expecting that goal. But he was able to bully that defender, fight his way, and was able to score that goal. Arteta and the Arsenal players, they need to understand Gyökeres. Actually, Gyökeres does not suit Arsenal's style of play. But Arsenal, on the other hand, they have to suit Gyökeres' style of play for the system to work. They have to suit Gyökeres' style of play for the system to work. So if you observe the match yesterday, the bully was massive. Now, there's no Odegaard to be holding the ball for long. But there was Havertz that can be aggressive. There was Gyökeres that can be aggressive. Both of them up front being aggressive made the Leeds defenders not to push out too much for Arsenal. While the Leeds United defenders were maintaining their position, they could not push more men forward. They had to leave some behind. And that affected their game. Leeds is a kind of football club. Leeds, I noticed this thing with Leeds, Bournemouth, and Brighton in the Premier League. They play pure and proper European football. That's why Arsenal had 8 wins in the Champions League, no loss. Because in this European football, they believe in the tactics and the knocking and the passing and the fluency of the game and stuff like that. But in the Premier League, they believe in physicality. They believe in strength. They believe in set piece. They believe in throw-ins. They believe in corner. They utilize every piece of the game to win the game. The Premier League is extremely physical. But these other European teams that are playing Premier League teams, they don't understand. Out of the top 8, I think 5 Premier League teams were there, and 1 was at the playoff. And I believe that one might still qualify. So let's play a proper European. They are not used to this physicality of the Premier League. They are not used to it. Havertz and Gyökeres up front, it's a big shit code for Arteta. I'm not saying Odegaard is useless. Odegaard is extremely useful. But whenever people blame him that he always goes back or lets the ball from the defenders, that is not his fault actually. Odegaard demands the ball. He is the captain. He always holds the ball. He always wants to release the ball whenever he knows that it is safe for him to release the ball. He's trying to take responsibility. But sometimes he overdo it. Because sometimes I get angry. Release the ball on time, you are still holding the ball. Release the ball on time, you are still holding the ball. Why are you holding the ball? Why are you turning with the ball? Yeah, sometimes I get angry too. No offense, I get angry too. Because he does it too much. But on some other hand, I'm still trying to understand why he likes holding the ball and why he likes delaying himself with the ball. So you observe the third goal. It came from Martinelli. The substitute, I was not expecting Martinelli to go to the right wing, but it was substituted and Martinelli came to the right wing. Martinelli did not do much. He just had to break that first defender, looks for a way and made a cross. And the cross found Gyökeres. Now, the question I have for you, you can drop it in the comment section. Do you believe if it was Saka, do you believe there would have been such a cross? Ah, to me, I would say no. There would have been such a cross. That's something I think Saka should work on. Yes, he's a winger, he's a forward, he wants to score his own goals too, yeah. But I think currently Arsenal are trying to win the league and they will have to do that by teamwork. Yes, individual brilliance matters, but they will have to do that by teamwork. If you are not ready to work with the striker, the full capacity of the strikers, the full strength of the strikers, how they play, if you are not ready to understand them, it will be difficult for you. The three goals in that match came from the right wing, a cross from Madueke that found Zubimendi, a cross from Madueke, a direct corner kick goal, and a cross from Martinelli. Now, a lot of people were angry that maybe Saka was injured during the warm up. I don't know. It could have been a tactics for Arteta to confuse his opponents and maybe try Madueke and wanting to try something new. In the Champions League, Madueke, Gyökeres, and Havertz, they started. So I think maybe he was trying to try something new. You observe when Odegaard entered the game, Odegaard was more forward and direct. That's what I'm telling you. These instructions come from the coach. These instructions come from Mikel Arteta. If Mikel Arteta tells him, stop going backwards, stop taking the ball from the defenders, always go forward, I believe he will do that. I watched Odegaard when he plays for Norway. He is always forward. He finds Elland easily. He finds Colot easily. He is always forward. But why is that when he plays for Arsenal, he always comes back to pick the ball? So my own observation, I think he still doesn't trust Gyökeres enough. He still doesn't trust Gyökeres enough. Why I say that is because if you observe the game properly, whenever Odegaard comes to the back to pick the ball, Arsenal changes formation. The left and the right wing backs, they push forward, which is Calafiori or Incapi and Timber or Ben White. They push forward. Why they are pushing forward? The two centre backs, Saliba and Gabriel, they go wide, leaving the middle to be opened. Now Odegaard comes back to take the ball. He then pushes Zubimendi to his position and pushes Rice forward to press their opposition players to their 18. Now, if Odegaard misplaces a pass, giving it to Gyökeres, and Gyökeres cannot hold that ball successfully, and Gyökeres misses the ball, or the ball is being taken from Gyökeres, that's a problem from Arsenal because the whole middle is open. That's why most times, to what I think, he always passes the ball sideways because when he goes to his right hand side, he finds Zubimendi there, he finds Saka there, he finds Timber there. There's an overload in that place that he can work with. But you see the match against Leeds, Odegaard played from the middle. They were already winning. They were already winning 3-0, I think so, yeah. They were already winning 3. Yeah, that should 3 or 2-0 when he came in. Ateta gave him clear instruction. Don't sit deep. Go forward. Pick the ball. Do something with the ball. Be aggressive. Be aggressive. Release the ball. So I believe this most of these instructions and most of the things these coaches does on the pitch, these players does on the pitch, they come from the coach. The coaches are the one that are doing these things. So the fourth goal, that did not come from the right wing. It came through the middle. I wasn't expecting Gabriel just to take that shot. While I watched Manchester United game, I observed they did something. The two goals they scored, aside Zubimendi's mistake, the two goals they scored us now, they're outside the 18. Carrick had to divide the means to score Arsenal. Because he knew going into that box 18 would have been difficult for Manchester United. But scoring outside the 18 would have been easy. Would be easy. Or might be easy. Or might be possible. So he took the shot, he took the chances, and it worked for him. So when Gabriel Jesus held that ball yesterday, I wasn't expecting him to pick the ball. I wasn't expecting a goal from him actually. But he took the shot. This is why I go back to Arteta. Sometimes Arsenal pass, knock, 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 knock the ball several times, even inside the box 18. I think these instructions are from the coach. If the coach tells them to shoot, they shoot. If the coach tells them pass the ball, get a clear cut before you shoot, they do same thing. So these faults actually, most of the things happening on the pitch, yes, the players have their own errors and stuff like that. But according to the general gameplay, I give that to the coach. I give that mistake to the coach. If there's a win, the kudos goes to the coach. If there's a lose, the blame goes to the coach. That's why they call him. Now, for Leeds United, one thing I've observed, attacking Arsenal in strategically or unstrategically is a big offense. That's why I think for the past 8 years or 7 years, Arsenal have not lost a match to Chelsea Football Club because Chelsea knows how to. They don't sit deep. They don't strategize their attack. And when you don't strategically strategize your attack, Arsenal can haunt you, can bite you so deep that you won't understand. They have the physicality, they have the technicality, they have the power, they have the force to do everything. Arsenal have everything to win the Premier League, the Champions League, the FA Cup, and the Cali Cup. The problem is how Arteta utilizes it. That is what matters. How Arteta utilizes it. That is what currently matters. If you don't utilize these players properly, you won't get any good results from it. If you don't utilize these players properly, you won't get any good result from it. So you need to utilize your players properly. Know when to bring them onto the pitch. Know when to take them off the pitch. Know the instructions to tell them. Know the player that suits these tactics. The three questions, I think I have three questions for you guys today. One of the questions is, do you really think Arsenal has convinced you enough that they could get the job done to win the league? To me, I believe 14 matches and they still have a long way to go. But even the club chasing them is still not a serious club. Manchester City is still not even ready to win this league. Yes, we'll come to Manchester City. We'll go. Manchester. This video does not concern Manchester City. I will do a proper analysis on that. So we'll talk about Manchester City on their own. Then too, do you think you can trust Madueke when Saka is unavailable? Yeah, to me, I believe I can trust Madueke. I believe I can trust Madueke. It just has to work on his finishing. For now that he's not really good with finishing, he should just try and perfect his crossings. He should just try and perfect his crossings. Then, Arsenal's next match, they will be hosting Sunderland in the Emirates Stadium. What do you think would be their scoreline? You can drop that on the comment section for me to see. I think the correct score I should get it. An anonymous gift for that person. Mm. Yeah. Those are the three questions I have. And if you have any other thing you want us to talk about or more analysis on other teams that I'm not talking about, you can kindly drop that in the comment section. Thank you very much for listening and see you in the next one.